replicate that when he goes home. Kyle Lowry played.
He does. I told you that before that.
Exponentially better.
I told you before Game 3. You were all over him. I said, no, he'll play big in this game.
Skip, we've never seen anything like this, Skip. We've never seen a player of his caliber play so much better on the road than he does at home. And you mentioned getting to a Game 7 feet of clay. You hoping they have hands of stone that all of a sudden
I agree.
The rim is thimble size as opposed to ocean size, and they can throw it into that.
That is
but
true.
for me, let me ask you this, Skip. Do you believe that Boogie Cousins can have a Game 2 and 5 in Game 6 or a Game 7 if necessary? Because I've seen nothing that would indicate that he can put together back-to-back games.
I have not either. I don't completely trust him tonight because you're right. Every time to use your term, expectations rise for DeMarcus, he crumbles because he's never been on this stage with this kind of pressure. And all of a sudden, after a good game, he's like, ooh, now I'm expected to have it. The other night, he was not expected. He was the third string center. He was only thrust into the action because KD went down, and then all of a sudden, obviously, Kawhi Looney got hurt. He couldn't stay, he played for a while, then he couldn't go, and all of a sudden it's down to Bogut or bust, and it's kind of bust, so let's go with DeMarcus. And all of a sudden, DeMarcus makes 6 out of 8 shots with nobody really expecting him to. So tonight, he can be dominant in this game against Gasol. He can dominate him athletically, just on pure talent, size, strength. He's got all that. But he has to play with dominant poise on this stage, and I'm not sure that he can, which means we're back to this. Klay has to be dominant tonight for all 4 quarters. He has been their rock as a scorer and a shooter. And the reason, as I told you the other day, that they won Game 5 was he just kept scoring 6 points, 8 points, 6 points, 6 points. Every quarter, he made the key shots. So, again, can they make 20 of 42 threes as they did at Toronto? No, they won't. Could they make 17? They may need 17 to win tonight, and they're going to have to hope that Toronto stays in that 8 for 32 range, which was 25-ish%, okay? So it's going to come down to that. Go ahead.
Let me follow up on the Boogie Cousins.
Or not.
Because they go Looney, Bogut. That tells me they really had no inclination to play Boogie, given what they had seen from him in Games 3 and 4. But because Kevon Looney got hurt and they had no other option, you can't play Bogut 20, 25 minutes. So Boogie had to get inserted into the ball game. Another thing, to the three-point shot that you were mentioning, Skip, you can't let Golden State, they shoot too good. You can't let them get that volume of amount of threes up. You can't let them get 42 cracks at it. Because even if they shoot 36%, that's going to be 15 threes. That still might be too many. You need to hope, you got to chase them. Because remember, in Game 3, Skip, you said, Steph, the threes, they were chasing, he was hitting a bunch of twos because they were chasing him off the three.
Yep.
That's what they're going to have to do. They got to chase Klay. They've got to chase. But here's the thing. You can't run past him because what he will do, he will sidestep you and step back beyond the three-point line. So you have to run at him under control, and you can't do what Van Fleet did. Van Fleet fouled Steph on 1-3 for a 4-point play, and then he fouled him another time, and he got 3 free throws. You have to understand how to close these guys out when they're at the three-point line.
Okay. Speaking of Steph, I still say he owes his team for that collapse back in 2016 to your LeBron, Kyrie, Cleveland Cavaliers. Steph came up smaller than he is in those last 3 games, 5, 6, and especially 7 at Oracle. He still owes them. He hit the biggest three-point shot of his career in Game 5 at Toronto the other night, and it was the one to tie. And he caught it off the cut and just went straight up and shot it with conviction, and he made it after he'd gone 1 for 8 in the second half from 3. Well, they need a couple of flurries from him tonight. You know what I'm talking about at Oracle, when he makes 4 in a 2-minute span, 4 threes, because Oracle is going to be on hair trigger tonight to just blow the top off the roof. It is the last night. I do agree. We had Rick Bucher on, and he goes to every game at Oracle, and he said, last couple of years, fans have been so spoiled, they just sit on their hands and they wait for the team to bring them up out of their seats. Tonight, the crowd needs to try to fuel this team in ways it hasn't been for the last couple of years. And it needs to fuel the quote-unquote role players. You know what? Draymond Green hasn't had a big Draymond game in this whole series. Tonight, he's got to really come up huge, bigger than he is at about 6'6".
Right.
Remember what he did? You've brought this up before in Game 7 in 2016 when he was on the verge of being the MVP. His numbers that night in Game 7, he went 32 points, 15 rebounds, 2 steals, went 11 of 15 from the floor, 6 of 8 from 3. That was Draymond Green in Game 7, and it wasn't enough to get them over the top. Well, they need that game from him tonight to get them back to Toronto. So he's a big X factor. And then Iggy's got to make a few open threes. And obviously, Quinn Cook has to come in and make a couple of key threes. They're going to need a group effort. And in the end, I'm going to say this one last time, they just have to play a clean, fundamental game, which they have not for this whole series. You realize,
but that's not them, Skip.
Okay, but you realize they have averaged 17 turnovers a game for 5 finals. That's just wrong. It's hard to overcome that because they also make about 17 dumb plays a night where on defense or offense, they just do dumb things at dumb times. And after a while, it's hard to win in spite of yourself, to get out of your own way. Well, just one night, I'd like to see dare I say, a 3-turnover game from Golden State, because at least it gives you a chance to have fewer empty trips. It gives you a chance to score a few points that are going to be crucial down the stretch.
Well, Skip, the thing is, and also Van Fleet and guys that's chasing Clay and Steph, if you ever get in a trail position, you're done. Because they're going to find that pick. They're going to find that Cousins. They're going to find that Kevon Looney. They're going to find the Draymond. They're going to find that big pick. And when they turn the corner, there's nothing you can do about it. Basically, you got to hold, tug, and hopefully they don't call those, because I think it deterred the Van Fleet earlier because they got him a couple of times early holding Steph, trying to get around that pick. Skip, if I'm the bigs, I'm almost having to roll out of that. Let Boogie Cousins roll to the basket. Let Bogut roll a Kevon Looney. That doesn't hurt you. Them raining threes from Clay and Steph, that's demoralizing. That incites that building. And you want to try to keep that crowd as quiet as possible for as long as possible, because you want to keep them out of the game. Get to the fourth quarter with a 4-6 point lead and let number 2. I go the corn road assassin. Let him take it over from there. I promise you, if he get to the fourth quarter tonight, Skip Bayless, we're going to have a different conversation tomorrow morning.
Really? Well, he got to the fourth quarter in Game 5. He got to the fourth quarter in Game 2, and then he disappeared twice.
I said, you told me this is not the past. We're talking about Game 6.
Okay.
He gets to the fourth quarter. He's in strike. All I need Kawhi to do is to be able to see their tail lights. Don't let them go running high, Kawhi. See their tail lights, pull up to their bumper, and then pass them.
I'm more worried about Toronto running and hiding than I am Golden State. I don't think there's going to be any Golden State running and hiding from this team, and it is a team, a better team than Golden State, that they are up against. But because I do believe Kevon Looney will go tonight. He's listed as questionable. He'll get his pain injection, and he'll suck it up and play hard and play hurt. I'm sticking with my pick, and I'm just going to average the scores of the 2 Golden State wins in this series. So I'm going to go 108-105, home team tonight. And because I put it on the table yesterday, I'm going to stick with it against my better judgment. If you want 4 cases on this, I will accept the 4-case bet on this game.
Well, accept them.
Okay.
Accept them.
I'm so far ahead, it doesn't really matter to me, but that's okay.
Don't worry about it. See, that's the old tortoise in the hare. The hare was so far ahead, and guess what happened? The slow and steady. The race is won by the slow and steady. So 4 case by 4 case, 2 cases here, 3 cases there, and the next thing you know, I'll be in the front. You'll be in the back. You realize the tortoise keeps telling me he's going to catch me, and he keeps making bet after dumb bet after dumb bet, and he loses 4 and 3 and 4, and it gets up to 36 cases. I don't know. But because I am so far ahead, what are 4 cases to me? So I'll just give them back to you. Here, I'll just push them right back across the table. You got it. But you know what? It's not so much the 4 cases. It's when old Kawhi going to be standing up on that podium, holding that old Bill Russell Finals MVP trophy. That's going to do the most damage to you.
Well, and you know what? He's gotten every break in every series. Obviously, Joel Embiid was hurt,
He ain't get no break.
hurt, and now Kevin Durant just ruptured his Achilles. So you get break after break. Maybe it's just meant to be, and I can't stop that.
I will give you Kevin Durant was a huge blow because I believe the series would have already been over. I believe Golden State would have swept Toronto had Kevin Durant been fully healthy and able to play.
Okay.
But Joel Embiid didn't get hurt. Kawhi hurt his feelings. Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't get hurt. Yeah. Kawhi hurt his feelings. And Vucevic.
Well, let's throw Vucevic in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to him.
Throw him in there.
Yeah.
He an all-star. We beat all all-stars. Swept them.
Well,
Swept them.
you can root for number 2. The world can root for number 2, but do not expect me to. Thank you very much.
I heard sometimes he wears a Spurs pair of shorts up under his Toronto Raptors shorts. That's what I hear. I don't know if it's true or not.
So he can remember what the Spurs taught him, all that they taught him how to win and how to shoot. Yeah.
Fighting words
Okay.
No,
there.
they didn't teach him.
We will see what extra inspiration the Warriors draw, not only from the last game in Oracle, but also they said they're doing this one for Kevin Durant. All plays out tonight. Coming up next, will the Lakers finally get a deal done for Anthony Davis? Lots of folks interested in this one. We're discussing that next. And don't forget, you can listen to us every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.